So good evening everybody. I'm Louise Daniels here in the UK. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and tonight I'm really excited because I've got my hands on an absolutely beautiful suite, brand new, exclusive for you today. You can purchase this from tonight until the 4th of January, then it will be no more. And the wonderful paper, the framed and festive stamps and the gold swirls are actually only going to be available while stocks last. So if you like what you see tonight, drop me a message or order one from my shop. But without further ado, let's see what all the fuss is about. Don't forget to say hello in the comments so I know who's out there, because otherwise I'm sitting here talking to the computer, which is really rather very strange. So I'm just going to switch my computer over so you can actually see. And here we go. So we'll just wait and see for the camera to turn itself round. And first of all, I'll introduce you to the stamps. So this bundle comes with two particular stamp sets, one called the framed florets, or florets, I'm not sure, and one called framed and festive. This is the Christmassy one. This is only available while stocks last. Merry Christmas from all of us. Fa la 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 la. May the season be filled with peace and joy. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas. From our home to yours. I think that's beautiful. This one is a much more all year round, so lucky to call you a friend. Special person on a special day. Lovely floral tributes, and I think it's just really, really lovely. However, so it comes with some DSP, which again is only available while stocks last. I think this is lovely. I've already bought 2 packs. I think I might be getting some more. You can see some of the colours. So we've got Soft Succulent, Hi Lorraine, Blushing Bride. Soft Succulent comes with the Night of Navy, Evening Evergreen, Balmy Blue. We've got, this is the one that I think is a festive one, because I think those are mistletoe berries, although I'm not sure about the leaves. Lots of Evening Evergreen on there. On the back of there is a Blushing Bride pattern. We have another pattern here, which is navy and, is it navy? Yeah, navy and balmy blue, and some tiny flowers. We have some balmy blue sprigs and the larger flower. And this flower here can be cut out by the dies that I'm going to share. And those are the papers, which I just think are lovely. I'll just move the stamps. And then what I've also got are the dies. And it wasn't until I started playing and I actually realised what these do. They are very, very clever. So you have 3 ovals to begin with. And you might think, okay. But what happens is, you'll see in a minute, obviously as soon as you cut the frame, the outside piece, this cuts the holes into a piece of card. But you end up with the middle oval too. So you'll see in a minute, hi Katie, I cut out lots and lots and lots. The other flowers are, some of them are sprigs and little leaves and things like so. The other ones cut out the flowers either on the dies or from the stamps. But I'll just show you first of all. So what I did is I grabbed some of the cardstock in all of the corresponding colours. Although actually I didn't do the Blushing Bride. Pop those out the way. And I just went to town and I just cut out, I did some metallic ones too. But what you'll see is the dies all create lots of different ovals, which are so useful. You get this embossed shape. You get the more vintagey one. I've done them in the papers as well. This is what I mean about the hearts. So of course you can immediately see you start to build up on the top of these to make the most stunning cards. Hi Mum. So what I'll do without further ado, there's one of the flowers that I've cut out from the DSP. There's some of the leaves. So I've got a huge pile of bits and pieces over here, and I've chosen some of them. I feel a bit of card making coming on later on, because I've gone mad and cut out loads. However, I'm going to start with this one first of all. I've taken a soft succulent cardstock. I've taken the more, what I think is Christmassy one, the mistletoe one. I'm going to lie that there. and I've cut out the vintagey one in the metallic. That's one of the gold metallics. I was just going to say I can't find. Hi Elizabeth. And I'm just going to use some Tombow. I actually would recommend people use, if you've got some, the adhesive sheets with these, because they're quite fiddly diddly and you might be quicker and end up in less of a puddle if you use the sheets to stick it all down first. But I didn't think of that, because I never do until afterwards, and I think, oh, that would have been a really good idea. So I'm just going to glue that central into the middle of there, like so. And I'm already wearing the glue, but that's fine. Like so. Definitely recommend it. Now I've got the evening evergreen that's come out from one of the ovals. Can you see what I mean? So that's just going to go straight in there. I've had so much fun in the hour I got to play with this today. There is so many possibilities. I'm just going to use my apron, which is what it's for, to get that glue off of there. And then I'm going to bring this one in. It's going to go on there. But before I do that, I'm going to grab one of the Christmas ones and I'm going to put in here the stamp that says, "From our home to yours." That's that one. Is that one? No, it's this one. No, it's not. Why can I not read these tonight? From our home to yours. It was the first one I went to. You can tell how new it is. I haven't actually had a chance to play with this, sort the stamps out. Now I'm going to bring in the polished pink just to give it a bit of whatever. I don't know whether anybody else has already seen this suite and had a thought about it. I wasn't sure, decided to go for it. Absolutely love it. I'm going to just pop that on there like that, slightly up and slightly not central. You could do it central. I'm just going to pop it over there. You'll see why in a minute. There we go. Lovely font, lovely sentiment, just really lovely set. So there we go. Just going to literally glue him straight into the middle. And I'm going to just, there we go, centre him up a little bit. And I'm just going to, hopefully I can put my hand straight on it, otherwise you'll have to wait and see what I'll do later. Where's my dark green ribbons? Oh no, I can't find it. Just a moment, I'll be back with you in a second. I'll just go wandering around the house looking for ribbons. Oh, can't get him out of the box. There he is. Last little bit. Oh, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Last little bit of evening evergreen. There we go. I'm just going to trim that off of there. I'm going to tie it into a very tiny bow. A very tiny bow, because I need to order some more of this ribbon. If you haven't discovered these ribbons, they are absolutely lovely. They do them in several colours. All of last year's in colours. There's a red, there's a gold, I believe. They tie really easily and you can fiddle and make the most gorgeous little bows. There we go. Little bit more fiddling. There we go. I'm just going to trim that little edge there, and I'm going to grab a glue dot and pop him just on there like so. Pop my little ribbon on there. And the other thing that comes in this suite is the gold backed swirls. These again are while stocks last, and I think these, I might be stocking up on these too, because they're just really useful. They're not really raised, they're just a sensible size of gold blob. I'm going to put one down there. I'm going to pop I might just have one actually. What do we think? 1 or 3 while I'm gluing it onto the other card. 1 or 3 gold dots. What do we reckon? Hi Joanna. We're just using this fitted florets. I don't know if it's florets. There we go. And there we go. And that obviously would need a, let me have a little look on this one. I haven't looked at something on here. And what I will do is I'm going to grab the little tiny spriggy one. Okay, we've got one. Thank you, Elizabeth. We'll have one. So I'm going to grab this little spriggy thing, and I'm going to grab the evening evergreen again, and I'm just going to see what it actually looks like first. Yes. I'm going to just turn this round. I'm just going to put a few spriggy bits. One up there, one under there, just to give it a little bit more. There we go. So there we go. That's my first attempt ever with this suite. I hope you like it. I think it's a little bit Christmassy. I think I would probably, when I do the middle for the card, I'll probably stamp in the Merry Christmas from all of us in the inside, because I think it would make a really pretty card. So that's my first one this evening. Now, the second one, I've gone a little bit more Victoriana. I'm going to, first of all, I have the Balmy Blue. That's another one of the colours. And what I've done is I have cut a piece of DSP to match the front, and then I've cut it in half. So what you do is you pop it on like so. And if you're clever like me, you realise that the flowers are actually directional. So do make sure you get all your leaves and everything else going in the right direction. So I'm just going to first of all glue these pieces of DSP to my card. And while I'm waffling, next week, if I get 5 minutes, I will be live, but it won't be live crafting. I'll be live chatting, because we'll be at Stansted Airport waiting for a flight the next day, Wednesday, week tomorrow, to Vienna, to our very next conference. Now what I need to grab from my reel, which is up here, is a bit more of this ribbon that I was talking about, because there's another piece. That's a Balmy Blue one. That's an old stock that I have, but I'm going to put that right across there. Well, I am, if I can find what I've just done with my double-sided tape, because my, there we go, couldn't see it for looking. So I like doing this style of card. It's quite interesting when you've got lots of very pretty DSP. And I'm just going to break up the join by just gluing a little tiny piece of ribbon across there. Now, I said I've been playing with these, so I've got a selection for you here. I can either do the white frame with a gold middle, and then I was going to put some soft succulent and stamp onto there, or we could have it in navy, or what other colours have I got? Let me see, what else have I got here? I think we'll go with, well, you tell me. Oh, I've got a pink one. I thought I had another one. I have a pink one. So we're going to go pink, navy or white, while I decide what to stamp onto this here. Pink, white or navy. Do let me know while I'm just finding some ink and a block. And this is going to be a birthday one. White, right, well, we're definitely going with white. Oh! My stamps are trying to leak down the room. Let me just grab another block. This one says, for a special person on a special day. So again, you see, I'm thinking birthday, but it could be anything, couldn't it? It could be a, oh, it could be a wedding, could be an anniversary, just a because card. So I'm stamping that one there, and then I'm going to also grab, there's 2 sizes of flowers White, white, white. Right, we're definitely going for white. I'll get there in a minute. I'm just going to grab the polished pink, because I also wanted to show you that you don't always have to stamp onto white. All of our cards stock, you can stamp exactly the same as you would on the white. I'm just going to put some of these flowers in the polished pink, just to bring a bit of pink into the card, not because there's any pink on it, but just because I can. And again, when I'm doing these sorts of things, I tend to stamp off a bit, and I tend to do them in odd numbers. Couldn't tell you why, I just do. There we go. So I've just decorated that like so. I'll put that block out the way, pop the ink away. So we're going for the white one. Let's just put the inks away and take the navy one out. So again, I'm sure it would be better if you use the adhesive sheets. If you haven't got any and you want to borrow one to, well, not borrow, you want to use one to have a try before you buy a whole pack, just get in touch. Quite happy to share a pack if you don't think you're going to use them a lot. I just forget I've got them until I come to glue something on and I think, that would be better. There we go. So I'm going to just pop it down there like so. I'm going to glue the gold piece into the middle. You can see what I mean about the different styles of ovals helping each other. Going to grab a couple of dimensionals for this one, like so. 1, 2, 3, and don't forget, there we go. Now what that means is I can now bring in 1 or 2 of these sprigs that I've got over here that I've cut out already somewhere. I've got another one somewhere. I've got that many things over here. You can't actually see what I've got there. It's gone. Come back here. That's it. That's the little blue leaf. Just going to put a little blue leaf on. I just wanted to show you. There we go. Just one of the other little cutouts that comes with the suite. And I'm going to bring in, what should we use now? I think we might, these are the last year's In Colour Sparkles. They do them in a different thing, but I found these and I think I'm going to use some of the soft succulent little dots on my flowers. 1, 2, I think that stuck to me. 1, 2, I'm going to put a pink one on 2, 3. So I always, I think I've said this before, I tend to buy the In Colour things. I don't need another one. The In Colour things before they go out of stock. So there we go. So I've got 2 little cards for a special person on a special day, and from our home to yours. And then the last one, I've done something completely different. Before I do that, I just wanted to show you one other thing, but I've lost the bits I was going to show you. Just a moment. They're here somewhere. Let me see if I can find them in my little piles. Looby-loo, what have you done with them? Aha. Now, this stamp set has the most amazing floral images, and you can cut round these with your dies. Now, you didn't want to see me sit and die cut, but what I am going to do is just bring in some of the blends, because I think I have the Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent and the Polished Pink, which are all the colours that are in here. So I thought I'd just have a go and just see very quickly if I can use these blends to colour in, because I think that's another way you'd be able to create some really interesting images and cards, and they're really good, these, I believe. I haven't had a chance, but you can die cut them out with the die that's in the little bundle, and then these would make really lovely tags. So there we go, you get what I'm going to do. And then bring in the pink, which is very pink, If you haven't had this polished pink blend, it's neon. I've never seen anything like it. I'm going to do that little bit of leaf there. I don't know whether it's a leaf or a bud. It's now a leaf. I'm in a bud. And you see, I love the blends because they're so quick and easy to use. So quick and easy. And this for the first time in a long time, I'm just using the fine tip because you can be a bit more directional with it. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in the middle of that flower there. Let's see how dark the Night of Navy is. Oh yeah, you can see it's very definitely navy. I don't think I've ever used this colour. I tend to buy them in when I have a few rewards left, and then I don't get round to using them. Trouble is, Stampin'Up has so many lovely things. Put a little blue blob there, and I'm going to use the darker pink on this one here. Tell you it's neon. I think it's fluorescent, this pink. I shall miss these colours when they go in April. Right, there we go. And that's just to show you that there are all sorts of things you can do with this suite. It isn't all just about cutting paper and sticking and making cards. I just wanted to show you something else. I'm sure I shall come up with some more ideas currently. So there we go. So that's one of them, and there is a die, as I say, that cuts that out. So that was just to really briefly show you before I move on to my final card for tonight. And I have done something completely different. I'm just going to bring it out of here. I just want to do something. So what we've got is a piece of the DSP. This is the blue, balmy blue, navy and polished pink, and the polished pink. I've got that one. I've then used the third die oval to create the little hearts, and I've done those in white. That's going to go on there, and that's very simple to adhere. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. There we go. And then I found it quite tricky to get these hearts sort of vaguely oval. I mean, they are oval, but trying to get it sort of, there must be a way you can do it. I just was probably not thinking about it and spending too much time doing it. Now, another one of the dies does this. Let me find it in a different colour. There's the bronze one, but I've done it in the pink, polished pink. And I'm going to pop that one inside there. Can you see what I mean about being able to build up all sorts of layers of these dies? I can see all sorts of creativity coming on here, and they're so useful. There we go. I find oval is one of my go-to shapes, and I was quite sad when we stopped having it now. Again, because I didn't want you to think you could only use the dies on the cardstock, I have done it with the paper, the DSP. And this is the one that's got the blue, balmy blue and evening evergreen navy flowers, but on the other side it's evening evergreen check, like gingham, slightly faded. And I'm going to pop that one in the middle, like so. I'm just wiggling round till he fits. There we go. And then I've got a piece that I've cut from the DSP, and they're quite strong. I am going to use some DSP, no I'm not, some dimensionals on the back of this. I did this on Saturday, hang on, I've just lost a dimensional. I think I've got, they're sticking to anything but me. Right, here we go. Always try and use 3, not too many more. And then this is another piece that I've used that's cut out. I'm just going to, I think it goes that way up. I don't think it's that way. I think it is that way. If you had, oh, I could turn the card this way. Oh, now, no, we're definitely going portrait tonight. So I'm wanting to pop that there. What I tend to do is use my grid to keep it straight, lie that where I want it, then hopefully stick it down using the flowers. That way it's just that little bit more flexible. And I am just going to pop a little bit of glue on the back of these little leaves. These leaves can be stamped and die cut out. Again, that was a little bit fiddly. Now the only other thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring in a sentiment strip to go across here. And am I going to stamp it in the green or the pink while I find my stamp? Green or pink ink? Green or pink ink? What do we reckon? Just check that's going to fit in there. Green or pink ink? Green. Okay, we're going with green. Thank you, Elizabeth. You must have the fastest typing fingers of the evening. Green. I do hope you're enjoying this. I think this is lovely, and as I say, I've put all the information in my comments after this Facebook post. I'm just going to, when you have new stamps, do just stamp them a couple of times just to make sure it does ink up. There we go. Oh, I think I'm just now wearing even evergreen ink. And I'm going to trim that there. And I'm going to just tuck it in. Just fishtailing it. You could use the banner punch. I find it just as easy to do it that way. And I'm going to just glue this one straight down. It's very beautiful. I think it's very beautiful, Joanna. I was very impressed. I wasn't sure. Long story short, but I decided I actually would treat myself because I very rarely actually do just buy the sweets as they come. I have to really like something before I do so, and I really did. And now I've started playing, and it was quite exciting. You'll know what I mean. If you get your hands on one and you give yourself time to sit and play and work out, I'll show you in a minute, all these lovely bits and pieces and how they all fit together. I just think it's really lovely. Now, my last question for tonight. Am I going to put this card? So I've done the front. I can't get them out of the way. I've got the front there. I have either the soft succulent, or I could put it onto more of the polished pink, or this colour is also in the suite. I could put it onto the Blushing Bride. So we've got Bride, soft or pink. Which colour shall I make my final card with, do we think? What do we reckon? Which one? Soft succulent. Joanna's got the fastest fingers tonight. Right, we'll pop it on soft succulent. As I say, I can feel quite a few of these coming on, so it's what I'm going to use. This suite is what I'm going to use in my December card club for anybody who's watching and wondering. It'll be festive or floral birthdays, because I figure that come the new year we're all going to need a few birthday cards. We might as well get a head start. And by December, the middle of December, I think I will have had enough of making Christmas cards. There is that as well. There we go. So there's the soft. Yeah, I quite agree, Katie, definitely. The dark would have been too dark. I just think these are absolutely beautiful colours. Absolutely stunning. And just before I show you them all, I'll just show you some of the other pieces. So I've already cut out, you see, there's an evening evergreen one. So I could bring in, what have I got over here? I could bring in, what's this one? Well, I could bring a white one in. And then I could, hang on. I could bring this one in. I could bring the gingham one, like so, and a little white one. Can you see straight away how you start playing? So there's a pink oval. I'm going to grab, a soft succulent one here with the pink. And then you just need another one of these. There's a little one. Oh no, that doesn't work. And you just carry on playing. Oh, I see, I've take that one out. If I make that one work, it's a bit like a puzzle, really. It's quite good fun. There's a navy one. And then you see I could put that little oval on there, like so. And you would never know, I don't think, that these are all actually from the same set. What else have I got? Oh, there's a bronze bit in there. Let's have a see. Oh, I've got a dark green. I've got a dark green. And I could put the soft succulent in. There we go. And finally, what else could we do? What else have I got over here? Oh, I've got one of those. And I could put one of those over the top. Or I could put the dark green. I think it's amazing. I think it's really, really good fun. And that's just only a few of the bits and pieces that I cut out this evening. So I'll hopefully have enticed one or two of you to go and have a look for it, have a play with it, purchase it, because definitely be warned, the paper, the sparkles and the festive florets are only available while stocks last. So there we go. Those are tonight's cards. So lucky to call you a friend, for a special person on a special day, and from our home to yours. I do hope you've enjoyed this evening. It's been really lovely to share this with you. And as I say, I will do our best from our hotel. I'll come back so I can see you. I'll do our best from our hotel next week to be able to just go live and say hello from Stansted Airport as we're on our way to Vienna. I will also hopefully be able to go live 2 or 3 times during the conference, just to give you a feeling of what it's actually like. I'm really sad, Elizabeth, you're not going to be able to come with us, but I promise that I'll bring you back some goodies. And I simply can't wait till next week. Christopher is planning an itinerary. Joanna and Caroline, be warned. It sounds like we're going to have an awful lot of fun. So stay safe, take care, and thanks ever so much for joining me this evening. Bye.